Hi foodies, let's get into these delicious pork chops with chicken sausages and apples. Amazing for holidays coming up, but great for a weeknight dinner. Let's get into it. First thing we're going to do is season these pork chops. Of course, you can double up on the recipe if you want to do much more than 3. So we're going to give this a nice seasoning and let it marinate overnight ideally. What we're going to do now is create this really tasty mixture that we're going to baste the pork in and simmer it in as well. So we're going in with some sugar and some spices and some other ingredients. So I have my cast iron pan here with some oil and some butter. So now we're going to sear the pork chops, just get a really beautiful color on the outside. And the reason I'm using the cast iron pan is because it retains heat so well. And remember, pork chops do not take very long, especially when they're this small and thin. If you have a much bigger pork chop, the good thing about the cast iron pan is that you can actually finish the pork chop in the oven if you like to. So what we're doing is searing on all sides. You can use your tongs to turn them on their sides. Make sure everything is seared nicely. And if it's a very big pork chop, you can put this in the oven until it's completely cooked. All right. While you're searing the pork chops, you could baste it with the butter that it is searing in. So you could do that if you'd like to. It's optional. Would you just look at that gorgeous color? Really, really beautiful color. You don't want it to be too burnt, right? So you want to make sure that you get a beautiful sear on the pork chops and then take them out of the pan. As I said, if you're using huge pork chops, you could always finish them in the oven and then set them aside on a plate. So we're going to be using the same skillet to cook the chicken sausages. These are some beautiful chicken sausages that actually have salt already in them, so we don't need to season them. And I cut them crosswise and then we're just going to cook them for a few minutes. They won't take very long because it's a ground chicken, right? And it's cut very thin. If the chicken sausages that you're using do not have salt, then you can go ahead and add a little bit of salt and pepper at this point. Once these are cooked, set them aside and then we will move on to our other steps. I have some white onions cut in some strips here, and you want to make sure that your heat is not too high at this point because you don't want to brown the onions. And then I have some apples. You could slice them. I have them in chunks, but you could slice them if you want to. And we're just going to cook this for, maybe a minute, and then we'll go in with some more deliciousness. Once we cook the onions and the apples gently together in this butter, the natural sweetness is just gonna come out. It's gonna be really delicious. You don't want to cook the apples until they are too soft. So definitely don't cut them too small unless you like them soft. So just cook these gently, and then we will be adding our liquid. Now at this point, if you feel like you want a lot more liquid, that's fine. You can add a little more, apple juice and maybe a little apple cider. But feel free to, be flexible. Okay, so we're gonna add the pork chops. These pork chops are basically cooked. Okay, so we don't need to cover them with a lot of liquid. We're just gonna baste them with the apple juice mixture so that they can get some of that flavor into them. All the juices that are in the plate, I'm definitely gonna scrape that into this skillet because that's a lot of flavor in there. Now I'm just going to sprinkle some chili powder, just a little bit of chili powder over this. And then I'm gonna garnish with some parsley, and that's it. This is absolutely tasty. It is done. It is simple. Make sure you get out all of that sauce. I like to use my spatula because you don't want the spoon to disturb the metal spoon to disturb the seasoning on the cast iron pan. So you can use your spatula and scrape out all of this really nice sauce. Look at that. It is glossy and just gorgeous. This is the perfect balance. The savory and the sweet and the tanginess. Absolutely amazing, guys. I know you're gonna enjoy this. You could have it with some, creamy mashed potatoes. I do have a video for that. It is really just so satisfying. So remember to save it for Christmas time. That's coming up. Or you could even try it this Sunday for dinner. All right, think about that. If you do try it, of course, remember to tag me on Instagram, guys. I love to see when you guys try the dishes. And always leave me a comment to let me know how it went when you try this out. All right. Thanks so much for watching, guys. And don't you forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, all the good stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.